Hello, I'm Angela Stewart and I am chairing the judging panel.
Hi, I'm Jane Corkill. I'm here representing the Isle of Man Arts Council.
And I'm Chris Sullivan and I'm also on the judging panel.
Chris, I'm going to come to you first because I believe this is the first time you've been here at this.
Absolutely, I'm very much looking forward to it.
What do you know so far before you launch in?
Well, I know that we have lots of young people here today. Saturday we're having the younger ones, but there's such a plethora of different musical styles and choices that I'm very much looking forward to hearing all of the contrasting music.
And give us a little bit of knowledge about your background.
Sure, so I'm a music teacher at the Isle of Man Music Service, but I'm also a musical director for the Manx Operatic Society, as well as being around the island in several musical guises. So my background before coming to the island was at the Royal Northern College of Music and Trinity College of London.
And what do you think so far about some of the talent you've seen over here?
The Isle of Man's unique in having such a diverse musical background, culturally, the heritage, but also it embraces the modern too. There's nowhere else in the British Isles that I've ever seen such a wealth of musical depth before.
That's really nice to hear, isn't it, Angela?
Yeah, it's lovely. I'm delighted. I'm very pleased that I suggested Chris to be a judge.
And we do have a lot of entries this year, don't we?
We do. I mean, we've got, I think it's 24 today and something similar tomorrow. So that's absolutely brilliant that so many young people are keen to come and perform for an audience.
Yeah. And what are you going to be looking out for, do you think, today?
I tend to look a lot for interpretation, using the words, because that's where we have an advantage over instrumentalists, that we can actually utilise the words and convey the message of the songs.
And Jane, you've got some of the songs in front of you looking at the programme there.
I do.
What sort of mix have we got for today?
Oh, there is a wide mix of songs going on here. We've got, there's a bit of, sort of quite serious, quite, I'm going to say grown up kind of music, but there's also there's musical theatre here. We've got songs here from West Side Story and from Annie and The Sound of Music. There's some folk songs. Oh gosh, there's literally a little bit of everything.
And obviously you've been performing for many years yourself. If you were able to speak to any of these young people, I mean, they're only 7 to 12. What sort of advice would you give them?
I would say try and enjoy it. That's easier said than done. I think all three of us in the room here now and yourself know that that's easier said than done. But also, I think it's important that they don't really take it too seriously and they're not hard on themselves, because things do go wrong. That's the joy almost of sort of live performance, as we all know. Mm-hmm. But it's great experience, and I'm sure lots of these young people today are heading off to put entries into the Guild next week. So take this one as just a nice rehearsal, enjoy, have fun. There'll be a very supportive audience out there, and every one of them's a winner for just getting up and doing it, really.
Oh, she's so supportive. We better get our stuff together and get out there, really, don't we?
I'm with Aalish Kilgallon, who has just won the first day of Young Singer of Man. Aalish, how do you feel?
Feel amazing. It's so incredible to be in this position.
And the 2 songs that you chose, tell us a little bit about those.
Well, the first song that I chose was Whippoorwill, and I thought that was just such a lovely song. I thought that it was so up and down and you didn't know what was going to happen next. And I love telling the story. And the second one, I just thought, because I really like singing pop sort of songs, and I thought that I would really like to do something like that, so I decided to choose that one as well.
Amazing. Who inspires you musically?
Well, I like someone called Yeba, which you probably haven't heard of. I think I love her style. Yeah.
And are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Yeah, a lot.
We get to see Eve Puzzar come and perform, who's last year's winner. Do you think that one day you'll be performing as the winner of the Young Singer of Man on the second day?
Well, maybe. I'm not sure.
Here's hoping. Well done again, Aalish. You've done a really good job.
And the seagulls crying, I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy lie, to the gulls away and the whales away, where the winds like a wetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and a quiet sleep and a sweet dream. When the long trick's over,
Finally, we come to the first place, and we have decided to order it to Orry Wilson.
Angela, we have just announced the seniors winners. It was tricky, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm afraid the adjudication was very challenging. We had quite a lot of discussion about various people that were singing today, but we came to a conclusion in the end, and we still all like each other.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Jane, what was some of your takeaways from today?
I think what I'd take away from today is just how brave some of these young singers are. They are taking on some quite challenging repertoire this afternoon, and some of it was really outstanding singing.
Chris, I mean, again, the level of talent is quite extraordinary, isn't it? But some of the choices were very mature, and these young people were singing beyond their years, really, weren't they?
They certainly were, because if you judge people aged 13 to 18, all of the younger ones on that sliding scale are looking up to the older singers and wanting to aspire to be like them. So whereas we see every year people coming back and attending and challenging themselves, we do get to see a lot of progression in their singing too.
She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She's all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She's gone, but she used to be
It's always delightful to see you at these events, and first of all, congratulations for supporting so many things, as you always do. What did you think of the talent this afternoon?
Unbelievable, fantastic, and to see the different ages, but also the variety of music, but just the standard, the talent is just fantastic.
It always amazes me when you see them so confidently getting up here and singing in front of a crowd like this, just standing. I mean, it's quite terrifying.
It takes real courage, and it's great because they will be so much more confident because of it, because they've been in something like this. And it was just fantastic. It was so enjoyable, but just to see young people do what they did was great.
And it was a tricky tricky choice, I can tell you that much from having been involved, but I think you weren't far off, were you?
I'm actually quite pleased because I got 1, 2 and 3 and one of the spot prizes, so I was perhaps I ought to think of another job.
I think you're going to get roped in next year if you're not careful.
I don't know, but I think they're absolutely brilliant, and I would encourage anyone, any youngsters to get involved because it's a brilliant way of extending one's talent through experience.
Before we speak to the winner of this year's senior competition of Young Singer of Man, it was so lovely to see Eve Puzzar back, who again did a fabulous performance, as we might expect. So you've had to hand over your crown, but what's the year been like?
It's been amazing. It's been such a busy year. I've done so much. I mean, it's such a good thing, Young Singer of Man, because it brings so many opportunities. I've done so many new different things, and it's honestly just changed the game. And I'm very excited for Orry, as he already knows what it's like because he's young actor of Man. But it's been a great year.
Orry, so you are an award winner, as you know, Young Actor of Man, but this is something a bit different. How long have you actually been singing for?
I only started in September 2022, I think it was, so not long. And I didn't expect it, so I'm still just a bit in shock, really. But yeah.
And tell us about your song choices.
So I did Sea Fever, which is a traditional English song all about a man longing to go back to the sea, and This Is the Moment from Jekyll and Hyde, which is about a man about to change his life, which I suppose I just have in a way. So,
and I suppose that's the thing, now that you've opened up your talents really with this singing as well, I take it this means that this is where you want to go, is it, with musical theatre, or what are your sort of plans?
Yes, 100% want to do acting, and I've always adored musicals, so hopefully one day I can get there, fingers crossed.
Who do you admire?
Ramin Karimloo, because I'm a massive fan of the Phantom of the Opera, and in my opinion he's the best one there is.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so do you know what's coming up for you now? What are your plans?
I've got the Connections plays, which are going away to York soon, and then after that, just A-levels really, so a lot of work, and hopefully drama school or something after that.
Excellent. And do you have a singing teacher that you'd like to give a shout out to?
I do, yes. I'd like to say thank you very much to Christine Sutcliffe.